There's a quiet frustration many women over 50 carry but rarely voice. They've followed the advice, applied the oils, and waited patiently in front of the mirror for results that never quite arrive. Castor oil, praised across forums and beauty blogs, promised hydration and healing. And yet, despite weeks, even months, of nightly ritual, their skin remains unchanged beneath the surface, soft, perhaps, but still sagging, moisturized, yet somehow dull. This isn't failure. And it's not aging winning the fight. It's simply misunderstanding a vital piece of skin science. The truth is, castor oil isn't the problem. It's the isolation. You were never meant to use it alone. In fact, using castor oil by itself may be the very reason your skin hasn't responded the way you hoped. What feels like a lack of progress is, in reality, your skin waiting, quietly, for activation. Collagen, the protein that gives our skin its structure and firmness, doesn't just vanish after menopause. It becomes silent. Dormant. Waiting for the right signal to repair. But castor oil doesn't deliver that signal. It soothes the surface, yes, but it doesn't reach the deeper layers where true restoration begins. That's why so many women say the same thing: it feels better, but it doesn't look better. This isn't your fault. You were given only half the story. While castor oil plays an important role, it is only the first step, like watering dry soil before planting the seed. Without the second part of the process, the skin cannot begin its natural rebuilding. The circulation stays low. The collagen remains still. And the glow you remember stays just out of reach. But what if the solution isn't more effort, but the right combination? What if your skin doesn't need another product, but rather, a partner to the one you already have? That's what this message is about. Because the missing link isn't hiding in a luxury cream or a harsh treatment. It might already be in your home, waiting to wake your skin from its silent sleep. Castor oil is often introduced as a miracle worker, thick, comforting, deeply moisturizing. For women with mature skin, especially after 50, its texture feels like a rescue, smoothing the surface, calming dry patches, and bringing a sense of care back to the routine. And in truth, castor oil does something valuable. It forms a protective layer that traps moisture and softens the outer skin. But softness isn't structure. And moisture isn't activation. After menopause, something deeper begins to shift. Estrogen drops, circulation slows, and the skin's ability to renew itself from within begins to fade, not from age, but from silence. The fibroblast cells, which once worked actively to produce collagen and elastin, now sit idle. They're not broken. They're simply untriggered. And while castor oil can coat the surface and provide relief, it cannot speak the language those cells understand. It cannot reach deep enough to send the signal that says, it's time to rebuild. This is why so many women feel disappointed after weeks of faithful application. They may notice softer skin, but not firmer skin. A gentle glow, but not the tightness or volume they once had. Because castor oil is an emollient, not a stimulant. It's like wrapping the skin in a warm blanket, but never lighting the fire beneath. Without activation, the skin stays in comfort mode, not renewal mode. True collagen reactivation requires more than hydration. It requires oxygen, circulation, and a biochemical spark to awaken dormant cells. Without these, even the best oils and creams remain on the surface. They nourish, but they do not transform. And this distinction is what changes everything, because once you understand what castor oil can't do, you finally open the door to what can. So, if you've been applying castor oil night after night, wondering why your reflection doesn't feel as alive as your effort, know this: it's not about doing more. It's about doing what works deeper. And that begins with understanding what your skin truly needs to remember how to renew itself, from the inside out. We've been taught for decades that wrinkles, sagging, and thinning skin are the inevitable signs of aging. That after 50, collagen simply fades and there's little to be done. But what if that belief is outdated? What if the problem isn't your age, but what your skin is no longer receiving? The true issue, for many women, is not time, it's circulation. After menopause, hormonal changes affect much more than mood and metabolism. They narrow the blood vessels under the skin, slowing the delivery of oxygen and nutrients. With each passing year, this silent shift weakens the skin's internal energy. Fibroblasts no longer receive the oxygen they need to produce collagen. The result? The skin loses its structure, not because it's old, but because it's undernourished. You may still be applying moisturizers and oils, but without circulation, those products can't go beyond the surface. It's like trying to water a plant when the soil beneath has hardened. The nourishment never reaches the roots. And in your skin, the roots are the fibroblasts, the very cells that build collagen and restore elasticity. Without oxygen-rich blood flow, they stay dormant, no matter how many products you apply. This is why so many mature women describe their skin as pale, cold to the touch, or slow to heal. These are not just cosmetic changes, they are biological signals of reduced microcirculation. They reveal that the skin isn't being fed from within. And until that flow returns, true rejuvenation remains out of reach. But here lies the hope: circulation can be restored. It can be gently reawakened with the right oils, the right techniques, and the right timing. When blood begins to move again, even subtly, the skin responds, not with perfection, but with progress. Warmth returns. Color deepens. Fibroblasts stir. And that dormant collagen, long thought to be gone, quietly begins to rebuild. For many women, castor oil was the first step in self-care after 50, gentle, natural, soothing. But when the results stopped at hydration, frustration began to grow. That's because something was missing. Not effort, not consistency, but activation. And that activation doesn't come from another cream, it comes from a companion oil most women already recognize by scent: rosemary oil. Rosemary isn't just aromatic, it's bioactive. Its natural compounds, like rosmarinic acid and carnosic acid, do what castor oil cannot: they gently stimulate blood flow beneath the skin. They encourage oxygen to circulate, warmth to return, and fibroblast cells to awaken. In essence, rosemary oil whispers to your skin, it's time to rebuild. While castor oil comforts the surface, rosemary oil works below it. It energizes the environment inside your skin, opening the pathways for repair. Clinical studies have shown that rosemary extract can improve microcirculation in aging skin by up to 40%. That's not just hydration, that's renewal in motion. When these two oils come together, castor to nourish, rosemary to activate, they speak a language your skin understands. They don't try to force change like synthetic treatments. They support the biology that already exists within you. And for many women, this moment, the first time they feel warmth return to their cheeks, a softness with structure, feels like their skin is waking up again. This is not magic. It's not youth in a bottle. It's chemistry working with physiology. And when that happens, the change is not only visible, it feels different. Deeper. More honest. Because it's not your skin becoming something new, it's your skin returning to what it always knew how to do: repair, strengthen, glow. Knowing which oils to use is powerful. But knowing how to combine them, in the right way, at the right dose, is where transformation truly begins. Many women assume that more is better. More drops, thicker layers, stronger sensations. But mature skin doesn't need more product. It needs more intention. And when it comes to castor and rosemary oil, balance is everything. The ideal blend is simple: 2 teaspoons of castor oil, thick and nurturing, form the base. To this, add just 3 to 5 drops of rosemary essential oil, no more. This ratio respects the skin's sensitivity while allowing rosemary's active compounds to circulate effectively. A stronger concentration isn't better, it can overwhelm or irritate. But this measured blend speaks gently to the skin, supporting it without stress. Before applying, warm the mixture between your palms for a few seconds. Not hot, just warm enough to activate absorption and stimulate microcirculation. Then, using slow upward strokes, begin massaging the oil into the skin, along the jawline, cheeks, temples, and neck. These are areas where fibroblast activity often declines and where structure is most needed. This isn't a routine to rush. A 3 to 5 minute massage, done slowly and mindfully, invites not just product absorption but a return of connection. You're not just applying oil, you're inviting the skin to participate. And that touch, that motion, begins to align your skin's biology with its natural rhythm of healing. Use this blend 3 to 4 nights a week, not daily. Let your skin rest, adapt, and respond. Healing isn't a race, it's a rhythm. And when your skin senses safety, consistency, and intention, it no longer resists. It opens. It listens. And it begins, quietly, to repair what once felt lost. Even the right oil blend can fall short if used at the wrong time. Your skin, like the rest of your body, follows a rhythm, a biological schedule of defense by day and repair by night. During daylight, your skin is busy protecting itself from stress, pollution, and UV rays. But when the sun sets and your body prepares to rest, something powerful begins behind the scenes: cellular repair mode. Between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., your body enters a unique phase governed by melatonin and growth hormone. These natural signals tell your skin it's safe to rebuild. Blood vessels relax, circulation improves, and fibroblasts become more responsive. This is the perfect window to support collagen activation, not by adding pressure, but by aligning with what your body is already prepared to do. When you apply the castor and rosemary oil blend 45 to 60 minutes before bed, you give your skin time to absorb, breathe, and activate just before this internal shift begins. By the time your body starts its natural repair cycle, your skin is already nourished, oxygenated, and ready to respond. The result isn't immediate, but it's deep. Over time, the difference becomes clear: your skin isn't just coated, it's cooperating. Daytime applications, no matter how good the product, simply can't trigger the same process. During the day, your skin focuses on protection, not healing. That's why the same blend applied at noon might moisturize, but applied at night, it restores. The temperature of your skin even changes, becoming more receptive and permeable in the evening, a subtle but important detail in deep absorption. This isn't a beauty trick. It's biology in harmony. When you work with your body's rhythms instead of against them, even a simple oil blend becomes more than skincare. It becomes a quiet conversation between you and your cells, a message that says, it's time to repair now. I'm helping you do what you already know how to do. Real change doesn't arrive with a bang. It arrives quietly: one night of warmth, one morning of softness, 1 week of subtle strength returning to the skin. When you commit to using the castor and rosemary oil blend with consistency, not force, you begin to notice something deeper than surface results. You notice that your skin doesn't just feel better, it starts to feel alive again. Around the 3rd week, moisture begins to stay longer. Not just on the top layer, but deep in the dermis, where real repair happens. Your skin holds hydration with ease. The tight, fragile feeling starts to fade. And in its place, a sense of quiet fullness appears. Not puffiness. Not artificial plump. But true cellular support. By the 4th or 5th week, the warmth that once felt absent returns. Especially around the cheeks, the jawline, the temples. That gentle heat is more than comfort, it's a sign that circulation has returned. That oxygen is moving. That fibroblasts are receiving what they need to restart collagen production. Fine lines begin to soften. Texture evens out. The skin no longer bruises as easily. It becomes more resilient, more elastic, more present. Around the 6th week, the mirror no longer reflects tiredness, it reflects balance. The skin may not look younger in a dramatic way, but it looks healthier, more vibrant, more connected to how you actually feel inside. For many women, this shift is more emotional than visual. They say, "I finally recognize myself again." That is the beauty of working with biology, the results feel real because they are. This isn't about reversing age. It's about restoring trust in your skin's ability to heal, to adapt, to glow from within. When hydration meets activation, and activation meets timing, the process feels natural, not forced. And over time, that becomes the most beautiful result of all, not just looking good, but feeling whole again in your skin.